Hello friends, this is Chandrakant from Makulmac Technologies. Welcome to Topra Spotlight. And ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Spotlight is a show where we bring leaders and we simply put them in spotlight. This show offers opportunity to talk about their innovation, what they are doing so different, how they differentiate themselves. And today we are in the company of a very lovely, wonderful professional. Her name is Sonal Malhotra. She is joining us from Bangalore. Sonal is the right blend of leadership, technology, and innovation. She is running her team, bringing out the new age innovation driven product called Dial TM. And she will be interviewed by my co host, my colleague from London, Mr. Naval Gand. So, without further ado, let me present this conversation to you.
To Spotlight. Today we're going to have a great interview about exactly who you are, what you do, and how the world's going to be different by your intervention. So let's start at the very beginning. Hashtag WFH. Work from home. It's got its own hashtag these days. And over the last 3 months, people have been working from home, been forced to work from home because of the coronavirus. But now organisations are actually integrating working from home with actually working in the office. So, big question. How do you think professionals are going to deal with that change in what they've been doing from the past?
Thanks, Neville, for having me here. So there are multiple changes where you talk about the challenges and the other things. There could be many which people are facing today, but I'll talk about few where the most of us are facing social isolation. We human are the social animals and we love to interact. Small chit chat around the water cooler or cafeteria. So many of my colleagues have feel lonely. So apart from that, if you talk about this challenge, it is morely it. Secondly, it is like a blur line between personal and professional life. This work from home culture has put a deep hole in our net mental health. So initially we had a time taking off and relaxing, which today is harder to get. Most of us, for us, homes is a place where we feel calm and relaxing. Right. And our subconscious mind takes us to the state of calm and leave behind all our worries, stress at the workplace, where while during our normal days, we have a transit time by traveling from office to home, which gives us space to leave behind all these stress. But now people are facing this challenge as they are not able to do that. The switch off and on mode is missing somewhere.
That's really interesting, that switch on and off, because I commuted to London.
Okay.
It's 13 miles on the train. I had a 10-12 minute walk, depending on how awake I was in the morning, how much coffee I'd had, to the station. And then I'd get on the train and I'd read the paper. And that was my switch on mode. It was almost like I'm getting ready for work. And that took me about an hour, I suppose, from physically leaving home to getting to the office. So that might be what you're saying is that was my wind up time. And at the end of the day, I had my wind down time because I had the same journey in reverse. Most of the time I used to fall asleep because I was so tired. But now we haven't got that, which from my point of view, it's brilliant. We haven't got that, because that means I can be now more productive for me. But I think for a lot of people, maybe that was a very productive time. That was me time. You know,
Yeah.
if you didn't have a fellow passenger, that was me time, and we've not really understood what that meant to us. So perhaps one of the answers is work out what that time was, what it meant to you, and maybe you've got to physically go out the house, go for a walk, and then come back in as though you're coming into the office. Does that sort of make sense in your world?
It does, because it gives you a pleasure, because many of us, as I said, that we are social people and then we love to interact, and we definitely want to move out of a regular repeated task. Currently with this work from home culture, if you see that we sleep or we wake up with laptops, right? So that is breaking our usual life, and then we hardly find a time to for ourselves. Right. Most of us, while walking, they switch off on different thing and think about themselves. It's a me time, which is missing. Although,
Yeah, I think that's an interesting one. Our day has been completely turned upside down, but I think all professionals are feeling this type of arena, don't you think?
I do think so. Most of our industry, if you consider, have taken this as work from home has increased the productivity of all the professionals. But at the same time, I feel the communication and coordination being a challenge with most of the people, because they spend hours to communicate and have team on the same pace that this is what expected from them. So working from home has come up as a challenge also for some of the professional, where the people who has independent task, uh, kind of task, where the productivity has increased. Reason being, wherein people were working for 7 hours or 8 hours previously, now they are working for 10 and 12.
Uh, that in itself is a challenge, because that actually defeats the object of working from home and being more productive. As we know, for many people, the longer you work, the less productive you become. So anyone listening out there thinking the longer the work, the more productive you are, I think you better go look at the research. But you mentioned this word communication. It comes up every single time. And particularly what I'm finding when people work from home is that they are not just physically remote,
Okay.
but they're mentally remote. It's almost like you said they've switched on and switched off. And it's almost like they need another calendar to kick in and say, make a cup of tea. Talk to your best friend. You know? So there's a Google Calendar that's constantly scrolling through and giving you little prompts, ping, ping, ping. But I do feel that communication, perhaps, and it's such a big subject, so we can't really get into that in any more detail today, because we need to sort of move along. So now we've faced some of the issues of working from home and maybe going back to the office. Technology. I've seen organisations that have really encouraged people to work from home, being more focused about the individual. But equally, I've seen organisations where they've rushed to get some software so that they can monitor people working from home, their keystrokes, their physical status on the screen, whether they're moving their head or anything like that.
Right.
So, how do you think technology is helping and perhaps hindering? Let's look at the yin and the yang, shall we?
So if you talk about today's technology, I feel it's helping. So major of the today's advanced technology, if you talk about the face-to-face interaction or cloud-based delivered video conferencing tools, so it kind of remove the sense of distances, and it is a better way to be together in place, right? And it could be a real game changer if it is used in a productive way. So if you talk about in industries, in all our industries, it has been considered that face-to-face face-to-face interactions are the most effective ones, right? So with the video conferencing tools in place, there is never a sense of distance, and it also changed the etiquettes and the feel of complete meeting. So the next time if I meet somebody in my conferences or networking connection, they know me, right? It is never a sense of that the person does not recognize me. The person can easily recognize me, and so I make a network, and so it is more effective.
I think that's brilliant. You know,
Yeah.
recognizing you the next time. I'm just going to dip out a little bit here because we all have met people on LinkedIn and we've all got a picture of their face, and then we meet them in real life and we think, "Are you the same person?" Because they've got a picture which has been sort of professionally done, and it's like mine. I probably need to. Having said that, I probably need to update mine because I've got a few less hairs on the top here, but it is about. I mean, we are having a physical connection here. I mean, a lot of people forget the fact that the technological barrier has just reduced our 6,000 miles into absolutely nothing, which is brilliant because you're drinking your coffee or tea, your preferred beverage from a cup that you like, in a surrounding you like, and so am I. And we're not having to put up with some dishwasher tea or coffee from a hotel, which is where we would typically be. So I think, as you're absolutely right, technology has really, really enhanced it. But do you think that some technology has taken us back a step?
Not really. Even if you talk about the others where you are saying that the companies and organizations are monitoring their workforces around, so it helps them to evaluate the productivity time of the individual and then analyze it in a better way so that they could be more effective and then work on certain analysis and then throw back a input. So it's only a way where how do you take this technology in and use it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the people developing that technology are only thinking of the positive implications. They're never thinking of
Think on a negative.
Exactly. And a lot of people these days, privacy is a big negative. As far as I'm concerned, if I'm going to put myself out there like this, all bets are off. My private life stays my private life. But frankly, you know who I am, where I come from, what I do, how I do it, and it's demonstrated physically in a video like this. So, who you are is what you do, really, as we say. But yeah, I totally agree. I mean, the people that are feeling that technology is a drain are not actually got the right mindset, in my view, as to what technology can do for you. So they just focus on the negatives. But let's get into this technology, because your organisation is at the forefront of some developments. So let's delve into what your company does in the terms of innovation, how R&D is helping professionals in this really complex, quite changing environment. So let's be very specific now. Where's your organisation focusing? How are they helping?
So we are today innovating a technology or a product which could help businesses to take it to a next level and solve their regular needs. So their daily activities. So kind of automating the processes, making into discipline, and have the organization take the benefits of the automations. So when we talk about the innovation, our new innovation is to provide the businesses the opportunity to connect, to learn, and to interact with their businesses or prospects across the distances, right? Because it's a need of an hour, because we cannot meet somebody, and it is a human intact that if we can't meet somebody, we still want to take a business ahead. It helps them to interact over distances through the help of small devices and systems, which is cloud enabled and can take the enterprises to a next level. So if you talk about the another enhancements, we mostly focus on the secure communication because it's really important that how we are communicating the data is being secure and it's used in a reliable way. So everybody is concerned about the security of the data and the security of the communication. So we talk about that every call and communication or recording we made today is encrypted in a standard with the standard encryption techniques, which ensure your business critical communications are reliable, safe, and secure. Right. Apart from that, we add this with the tool with the intelligence. When I'm saying tool with the intelligence, we have integrated the application with the face recognition intelligence to automate the attendance of the participants. At the same time, evaluate their state of activities like listening, reading, which help us to evaluate the concentration of the participants in the conferences and the meeting. And so does we share certain puzzles and questionnaires to understand their takeaways from the meeting sessions. The other intelligence which is built in is speech to text, so which helps many of the meeting to take away certain threads and figures of fact which can be used for the future references.
Brilliant. What I'm gathering here is that what your organisation is really doing is far more actually than people think they're doing. It's helping other people really focus in on what's important to the organisation. So becoming more productive, effectively. And as we do know, the more there is this equation, we're going to dip into psychology for 2 seconds, okay? There's this equation that's well known. If I'm really engaged in what I'm doing, I'm in the zone, let's say, then I'm really productive.
Correct.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
And it happens all the time. And what I'm hearing from what your organisation does, it actually helps people to get into that zone, which, frankly, is where we all want to be. We all want to be happy in what we do. We all want to be engaged in what we do. We all want to be valued in what we're doing for the organisation. So if you imagine that you had a bag that you took into work every day, and in that bag was 100 marbles, and in that 100 marbles, if you took one marble out and it was black, that's negative, okay? And if you took one marble out that was white, that's really positive. Out of the 100 marbles, how many would you want white?
I would say all should be white, definitely.
100, yeah, it's a difficult conversation, isn't it? 100, of course. And if your organisation is actually helping see people focus on only taking out white marbles, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's real. It's almost like artificial intelligence in a human being, really, using other human beings that have developed some very good interactive software. So I'm really excited by what you're doing, as you can probably gather, because without what you do, people can't focus. And I know from personal experience and what we do in our organisation, if people focus for an extra hour a day, their productivity level shoots off the curve. And then they look back the following day and they think, how did I do that? Well, you can do it again. So you've got a process, it would appear, that can really help them do that. So this should be really exciting for people to be listening to and to having a conversation with you. So now let's focus on your organisation very, very specifically. How can your system, or how does your system, how can it be accessed by other professionals, other organizations. What's that process?
Okay, so we have our indigenous product video conferencing tool named DialTM, which could be accessed from www.dialtm.in. You can go and subscribe directly from there. And to give you a brief, that what we specifically do is like whole of functions. Along with it, we map in like meet face-to-face, chat, connect with your calendars, maintain your schedules, share your videos with the high quality video qualities, and then record any meeting with the intuitive dashboards. Along with the artificial intelligence benefits which we just talked about, that if we can add more advantage to it and have people more sync in up. And there are certain challenges which we see that in India people are facing. It's most on the network bandwidth, as in people have low network bandwidth where the communication is terrible with most of the communication way, where our application has the inbuilt intelligence to switch on the quality of the videos and audios automatically based on the bandwidth, network bandwidth, which we get on the current participant places. Along with it, we also give them a facility that in case they have such a lower bandwidth that the video conferencing could not take place, we switch them to our audio. So the audio is getting a preference over the video, which helps many of them to be connected thoroughly on a system and then not leaving behind the meetings, because for such an instance, audio is more important than the video segments. And then, yes, at the same time, we provide API for third-party integrations as well, which help our customer to seamlessly experience with their third-party application.
Just brilliant. I mean, the key element, and I'll let you into a bit of a secret here. Yeah. Being someone who's quite a bit older than you, I've sort of been around this block a long time. In 1988, I was in our first video conference.
Okay.
That wasn't 2008 or 2018. That was 1988.
80.
Long time ago. And we then said, this is going to change the way we do business, because we don't have to travel, and you can imagine in those days, it was peer-to-peer. There wasn't this wonderful opportunity that we're given with Skype or FaceTime. You can be anywhere in the world and all you've got to do is click it open and it's there instantaneously. This was a bespoke video conferencing room to another bespoke video conferencing room. You can imagine the cost incurred just to put those two rooms together, let alone the satellite communication time that we would have to engage with and pre-book so that we got good bandwidth. So all of those things you today have just taken away. And I don't think people realise the seamlessness of what that level of communication can do. And now, of course, all you're asking your customers, your clients, and anyone in the world is, come and use it. Come and experience it. Because until you experience it, you're never actually going to know what it can do for you. So I think one question I would like you to try and answer, this is a small question, but a really deep question. How do people get over the fear of moving to your platform?
I feel that we will provide you the ease of using a technology with intuitive UI and dashboards, and it is easy though most of the people have a fear that they need to install certain set of drivers or exe to run a system, where we provide an efficient way where they can log into their Chrome or internet browser and then start using the application with the hassle-less interactions.
So in other words, you make it simple.
Yes, we make it simple.
Exactly, and that's what people that haven't been in this world, that have only used Zoom as a candidate, maybe not have you perhaps used Google Teams or Microsoft Teams to connect temporarily with others. But what I'm hearing is everyone that's listening should be really thinking about what your organisation offers. It's that seamless transition, makes life easy, and as we say, just do it. So it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today, Sonal. We will give everyone all the links that you've shared with us so that they can come along and talk to you directly. Any closing thoughts you'd like to say before we leave today?
I would say subscribe to Dial TM and experience the difference.
Wonderful. That's exactly what people should do. That's how simple it can be. So come on, people, just subscribe to Sonal's group and experience the difference. Thank you all for listening. Sonal, thank you for being in Spotlight today.
Thank you, Neville.
And
thank you
good
so
luck
much.
in the future.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful conversation. I really enjoyed the conversation between Neville and Sonal. It was really remarkable learning about how innovation can help professionals like you and me, in fact, the entire community. Sonal's team is doing so much effort, so much innovation, bringing technology to your home, to your doorstep. I would only say that it is benefit of everyone to use their technology because they have the face recognition embedded in their video conferencing. So it's remarkable. You can reach out and subscribe to their services or reach out to Sonal directly. Their website is www.dialtm.com. So dear friends, I take your leave for today. Please do leave your comments and I will respond to them as quickly as possible. Until next time, bye-bye.